I'm extremely honored to introduce our next panelist for Glassdoor's roundtable on pay equality, Hillary Clinton.
The failure to ensure equal pay for women also impacts families and the broader economy. Glassdoor is focusing on an issue that has really almost universal repercussions.
I'm so excited about this piece for many different reasons. For those of you who didn't get the memo, today is Equal Pay Day. It's a public awareness event created 20 years ago. Help raise awareness about the gap between what men make and what women make for the same job. If you've been paying any attention to the presidential election, you've heard that on average, women get paid just 76 cents on the dollar versus men. And even if you adjust for every factor imaginable, location, occupation, education, experience, women still make 5% less than men. I bring this up because earlier today, Glassdoor, the rapidly growing privately held online jobs and recruiting marketplace that makes it easy to compare salaries, hosted a roundtable discussion about this gender pay gap. And it's featured the company's CEO and also Hillary Clinton, Olympic gold medalist Megan Rapinoe, and a number of others. Now, look, my job is to help you manage your money, not to solve deeply entrenched societal problems, although I do help when I can. But what Glassdoor is doing here is intriguing. Last month, the company's chief economist published a study showing that the stocks of companies with highly satisfied workers tend to outperform the S&P 500 by a huge margin. Now, Glassdoor has become the fastest-growing job site in the United States, and they're steadily eating into industry leader LinkedIn's business, over 30 million users here. But what really captured my interest here is that this private company has a treasure trove of data on jobs, salaries, and employment trends. Let's take a closer look with Robert Homan. He's the co-founder and CEO of Glassdoor, to hear more about his company and learn about this stuff, including the Equity Roundtable and so many other things. Because this was really, to me, a company that I should have had on a long time ago. Mr. Homan, welcome to Mad Money. Thank you so much. Have a seat. You know, okay, I'm going to be very candid. I'm so far removed, I didn't know how important you guys were initially because I know about LinkedIn and the stock. Yeah. But this roundtable is in many ways kind of symbolic of what you guys do beyond just helping people get jobs.
Well, I founded the company 7 years ago to help people find a job and company they love. I think where you go to work is probably one of the most important decisions that you'll make. When people make a bad decision, it's bad for them. When companies make a bad decision, it's really expensive for companies. And people make bad decisions all the time because there's not enough information and data to help them make.
So you're making the whole thing much more transparent.
That's
so we can really find out this gap is ridiculous, right?
Yeah, I think, so we've heard the 77% number, and I think a lot of executives hear that number, and they kind of intuitively, it doesn't resonate with them because they feel like, I don't pay anybody 77 cents on the dollar. So you have to adjust it. Like, as you mentioned, you adjust for your location and job title and age and experience. And when you do that, you get down to a 5% gap that it looks like unintentional or intentional bias. And it's time to fix it because we know that 6 out of 10 people don't want to work for a company that doesn't pay equally. Like a company's employer brand and the ability to attract millennials, attract young people in the war on talent is directly linked to things like whether they're paying fairly.
Okay, well, I know the winner on the war on talent is a company that's going to do better than someone who's the loser in war on talent. When I listen to what you guys do, I think if I could figure out who's doing the best on Glassdoor, I can winnow out a lot of bad investments and get to the good ones.
So here's a super interesting thing. I hear from investors all the time that they do use our service very differently than job seekers. Okay. They come to actually figure out what's going on with management teams. Or is the company going through a particular problem? The thesis is that some kind of information is percolating up from employees in their own words that isn't broadly available yet. Now, we tested this theory. What we did is we publish each year a best places to work list, and that is the companies that are rated highest by their employees. Companies can't be nominated for this. You don't apply for it. It's merely your employees come to the service and they vote. And they review your company. Right. And we see who percolates to the top. It turns out that if you, no matter how you put together these portfolios, you can build various portfolios from these best places to work companies. Every single one of them beats the S&P.
I'm absolutely going to do this. I mean, I kind of ripped up when I was going over this company. I was saying I got to kind of check Glassdoor before I say that I think that such and such a company is a good buy. I want to kind of eliminate some of the companies that may have a cultural problem.
Well, and it makes sense, right? Because human capital is typically half to 2/3 of a company's cost, especially an intellectual capital company. And it matters a lot whether those people are highly engaged.
Right. Now, your background kind of, I mean, it's kind of like when I first I said, well, maybe it's like kind of a Yelp of or a Hotwire, a TripAdvisor. Your background's from online travel. I mean, you created transparency there before this.
I was part of a group of people that were part of that. I was part of the very early days of Expedia. I was at a front row seat for the TripAdvisor, what it did to travel. What Expedia really did is it took the travel green screen and gave it to everyone.
Absolutely.
There was this massive information asymmetry in travel. Agents knew everything. You know, people buying travel knew very little. It flattened it. We're trying to do the same thing. We're trying to give people and companies more information about the job transaction. And frankly, this is the way job seekers expect to look for a job now. And it results in a better candidate.
But it's a co-inspirational world. Both sides. Everyone's got to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We see now this is the norm. This is the way job seekers expect to search. But now we're seeing companies engage. We're seeing companies respond to reviews, certainly monitor reviews, become a part of the conversation, much less recruit from this pool of candidates. And it's very, very effective.
It's funny. I work at another company, Street, and it turns out that most of the people I get are from your site. And I was like, how could I not have known this? But the answer is that because you guys are not promotional about yourselves, but I'll be promotional about you. I can't wait till you guys come public. I think you got a great company going. That's Robert Hohman. He's the co-founder and CEO of Glassdoor. You know, Glassdoor is going to be part of my list now going forward before I recommend a stock. Mad Money's back in for the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.